We'll turn to dinner after. All right, so we formally, where's Yasmine, Sampson?
Sampson.
Right, let me see both your faces.
Yasmine is right here. She's ready, all ready to go.
Right.
Samson's getting there.
Well, so I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for your flexibility and the changes. My violin studio has taken a big old hit. I have a basketball injury. I have a sprained wrist. I have a family from Asheville, and they're a little busy. And I have a teacher all of a sudden told them they had to play at a district honor thing today, and so it got smaller and smaller. But I didn't want to give the students who had, who wanted to play, I didn't want to scratch them out, so we were able to move it here. So for those of you who have not were my students, that's Yasmine and Sampson, and then we have Vera and Julian. Okay.
They'll introduce themselves.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna say. So I want you guys. I didn't do a program. I want you guys to introduce yourselves, which means your name, how old you are, where you go to school, and the pieces you're gonna play. And when you talk, make sure you talk so that everybody can hear you. I said make sure you talk so that everybody can hear you. Okay, that's a good thing to practice as well. Because we have just 4 lovely, I can call you a kid, but you're like a 6 foot tall kid. I don't know. But you guys just aren't kids, you're young people.
Young
Kids doesn't work for me for teenagers. It's just so hard, especially this lovely teenager. Anywho, so because there are 4 of you, we're gonna do kind of master class style, which means in a master class somebody plays and then the teacher talks to them a little bit, has like a 5-minute lesson, kind of like that afterwards. So it gives all of the parents and whatnot a chance to see how we work with students, but we're gonna flip it. My mother, Ms. Respis, is going to talk to my students. You better watch that pretty princess, because she's gonna talk to you about that. And then I am going to torture Vera and Julian for a few minutes. So, and then we'll have lemonade and cookies, and you can go about this lovely Saturday afternoon. I will record it, and then I'll edit out the masterclass part, so it's just kind of the 4 recordings. And then we will have, my mother and I always do joint recitals, it just works better. We will have a spring recital as well, which will be a kind of a more formal event and whatnot. But
so you better get to work on your next piece.
Yes,
and get it really good.
And while we're doing this master class, and this because there aren't a ton of us here, you guys are welcome to ask any questions you want. Like you are not just spectators, you can be involved as well. Okay? So the last thing I'd like to say is a very strong thank you to Sharon Berenson. Sharon is a recently retired violinist with the Atlanta Symphony. She also plays piano with the symphony, but she has been an accompanist for a long time. As a matter of fact, I remember recording my college auditions with Ms. Berenson when I was in high school. So she is just Atlanta's student accompanist. It's wonderful, so it's much appreciated. All right, so without further ado, who's the first victim?
Yay! Don't forget to introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Yasmine Yarrow. I am 11 and a half. I go to the Westminster Schools, and I'm going to be playing 2 pieces, The Witch's Dance and Gavotte from Mignon.
Do you want to check your A? You want to check her or?
Play your A a little bit louder, my dear. Let's double check. Okay, good. All right. A one more time. I feel like you're. Yeah, we have that feeling. I don't think your violin's a big fan of this weather. A and D? A and D. Okay, excellent. right, Yasmine, stay there, and Ms. Respis is gonna come torture you a little bit.
I'm not gonna torture her. Just a little bit.
Here, I'll trade with you.
What makes Yasmine happy?
When her lesson's over?
Well, alright. What makes you happy?
Think
Think of something like that really makes you happy. It's like, yes.
reading
Reading? Okay, you're reading what?
books,
What kind of books? What kind of books make you happy when you read?
fantasy, nonfiction, realistic fiction.
What makes you laugh? What makes you go, oh, that's good? You see, I see that smile. I see it. Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, now save that smile and play the beginning of the first piece you played, the Witch's Dance, which is my favorite. I just happen to like that the best. Now, I don't care. I want you to smile, and I want you to keep that smile on. Just pay attention to keeping the smile on, and pretend that maybe you're on a merry-go-round, and you're going around and around, and hey, this is just neat as anything, you know? I mean, this makes me feel like a little kid again, yes? And then just play. Dum, dum, play. Ready, go. Come on, oh, smile, smile, smile. Come on, make it happy, happy, happy. Keep smiling. Oh, that's good. Now I want you to turn around.
Oh, she wants you to do this dance.
Yes. Okay. Now, I know this is silly, but what I'm trying to do is that you. It's like, I'm scared of you, right? Yeah, I love it. There you go. Now take that laugh and move your bow and play it just like that, and turn around. Keep smiling, keep smiling. Turn. Good, keep going. Keep smiling, keep smiling. Keep smiling, come on. Hey, she even thought to turn the other direction. Something else. That's good. But do you see what I mean? You know, it's happy music, isn't it?
Yes.
It's happy music. You can't play happy music like dum dum da dum da 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 da, right? Okay, now start your next piece, and let's see how happy that is. That happy music?
Yes. It's pretty
Make it happy. Now, really happy. Now, if you're happy, you're not scared to death, are you?
No.
If you're scared to death, what happens?
You get tense.
Yes, and what happens?
Shorter buzz.
You see, you know it all. So just take the chance. We're all friends. Take the chance, smile, and use as much bow as you possibly can. You started, you almost started. You went, okay? I want that first note just as happy, like you're throwing out like confetti, okay? Yes, come on. Come on, move your bow. Take your chance. Come on. Okay, good. You know, do you understand?
Yes.
You see, it's attitude. It's not just, move your bow, okay? But it's attitude. You've got to think about what you're trying to produce when you play, and how you make people feel. You make people feel happy now. Everybody's happy?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, Yasmine, you can switch chairs with Sampson if you'd like. Sorry, Sampson, I just gave up your seat. Maybe she'd be kind of you.
We'll get another one in a minute. Is this happy music?
No.
No?
Spotify thinks that I prefer more emotional or atmospheric music.
Ah.
Spotify may call all classical music atmospheric. atmosphere.
Yes, I don't know
Unfortunately.
why.
Yes.
But does it make you happy? When you think about it, the speaks. All right, let everybody think about it.
I don't think so.
And you go ahead and
Do you
we'll,
want to
we'll,
check your A again?
Yes.
we'll ask everybody when you're done.
Right. Hi, my name is Sampson Thomas. I am a 17-year-old senior at the Lovett School.
Hi, my name is Ginny Fairchild. I'm a postgraduate from the Westminster Schools. What are we playing today?
Today we will be playing the Bach Double Concerto for two violins in D minor. D minor. D minor.
Let me make sure I'm actually playing that.
Okay.
You don't get to torture me.
Oh, darn. So much for my plans.
Sorry, I had to move out a little bit. I was running out of bow room. Against the...
Anybody notice how, Yasmine, how happy Ginny was when she played?
Yes.
Did you notice that? That she's really like this, you know, like lots of bow and, you know, yeah? Play like her. Okay. Wow, that's a big improvement.
By the
already.
way,
It's going
Sampson,
fast.
I'm gonna just say this, but Sampson we've never had a lesson on this. Sampson's done this all by himself. We've never heard him play. We played it through this morning for the first time. He's deep in just finished all state auditions, and he's deep in college essays and stuff. So I'm quite proud of this young man.
But you lost your bet on that B flat.
Oh, you owe me $5. I hate to say it, your son owes me $5.
Okay, good. What's the first thing you notice when you watch, and be honest, when you watch him play? What's the first thing you notice?
First of all, let me preface it by saying I thought he played great, really good job. The thing I noticed, and I'm I do the exact same thing, so I'm being hypocritical here, but you're not bowing out. And I noticed that the bow is, like for some of the passages where you have 16th notes and stuff, you actually end up a little crooked. And again, I have the same problem, but if you can bow out, and you'll get a much better sound in some of those
You want to
passages.
explain to everybody what that is?
The crooked bow?
Yeah. Explain to everybody what you have to do.
Yes, I need to keep my arm in this straight. I need to keep my bow along this straight line and carefully. And it's all about how I'm using my elbow and arm to make sure that it stays in the same line. And I've struggled a bit more with that recently because I used to actually play like this. I played.
Oh, I'm glad
this
you don't.
position.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'll say I'll toot your horn again. Just a couple of months ago, when he started with me, his violin was way down in front of him, and I immediately told him he's got to put it up on his shoulder. He got a new chin rest to help with that, and in 1 week, Mother Dearest, in 1 week, he got his violin up on his shoulder. I couldn't believe it. I was very impressed. But yes, you're right. You learned a more crooked bow because your violin was in a
But you know what? And bravo to you, and you're exactly right. Nobody knows that.
Yeah,
Right?
nobody cares what
Yeah.
she's saying.
Nobody cares. So you actually just have to do that. Not only that, it affects your playing. Your playing is beautiful. You did a great job on this. You have a nice concept of sound, and I think you're doing a great job. I think you can, two things. You can watch your bow. Just stand here and watch your bow and see if it's straight with the bridge. You don't have to think even about your arm. You can try this. Just think about where your bow is, the contact point where the bow hits the string. Is the bow straight or is it not? And if it's like this, you try to make it straight, your barn will have to go out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the other thing is stand in front of a mirror
Okay.
and watch yourself. I did that for a whole year when I was first in college. I stood in front of that mirror like crazy, just watching my bow and seeing because I couldn't get away with it, by that time, right? So do be careful of that, please, because you played really well. You actually used this part of your arm very well. Yeah, he did it very well. It's just that when you get to here, you're like, you don't know what to do at the tip. So just fix that because people will notice, can see that. All right?
Thank you so much.
And Miss Fairchild,
You have anything to add?
beautiful, beautiful sound. Thank you.
I learned from the best.
All right.
Thank you, Sampson.
Alright.
And Vera.
No, we're on a first name basis around here. So, Yasmine, what's your full name?
Yasmine Yarrow.
Yasmine Yarrow. Oh, that's so pretty. Sampson, what's your full name?
Sampson Thomas.
Sampson Thomas. Vera, what's your full name?
My name is Vera Thorpe. I'm 15, going to Cambridge High School, and I'm playing Concerto No. 3 in G by Mozart.
Lovely job, my dear. Lovely, lovely. All right. You don't need that for a little bit, right? Okay. I think, Yasmine, when we were having our piano rehearsal in the beginning, I was saying that there's an uncanny valley of kids. You probably don't know what that is, but adults, do you know what the uncanny valley is? It's like some of that AI stuff that looks like humans, but there's just something a little off, where it's just not quite real. That's the uncanny valley. So this is not like a technical term for music, but I call it this. in tempo, where it's like if you're walking, and you can walk slowly, but it's got a nice natural gait to it. But if you walk a little bit too slow, then it's not natural. It has more of a like, you know. So in Mozart, I think my mother was saying the same thing to you. It's just like this much slow, so where there's a lot of extra time between stuff.
Okay.
And I think you'll find that it's easier to walk. It takes more energy to kind of walk like that than it does to walk slowly like this, just a click or two faster. And an added note, I'm playing the opera tonight, and it is Mozart, Magic Flute. And our wonderful conductor, who I adore, is taking the entire 3.5 hour opera. It should be a 2 3/4 long hour opera. He's taking everything slowly. There's so much time in between. And all of the string players, I don't know about the wind players, but we're all complaining about how hard it is to like keep the music rolling. Think of your voice. There's a certain amount. Sampson has a very like chill vibe when he talks. You have a slow voice, and that sounds like I'm insulting you, but I'm not at all. It has this very, I'm thinking about what I'm saying, and I'm gonna like put it down there, and you know, I love that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If it's a little too slow, then it just sounds uncanny, right? Okay, so think in 2. Yum instead of dum da da ya ya ya, but yum dum da ya ya da dum dum. So yum bum da ya 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 dum da. So if we think in 2 instead of in 4, then yum dum da ya 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 dum dum da ya ya. We start to get the weird walk, all right? So that's the thing, and I'll help you with that when you start over again. One other thing, will you play the first couple of measures for me without sharing? Just go ahead and play. Freeze. Good. Freeze. I don't want you to move anything in your core. Boom. All right? Do you see how, yeah, you may have to move your head. If you have good posture, your back is straight, which is good without being like too tense or anything. Just everything you're doing is a little here.
Okay.
And if you bring it all up there, then at first you're gonna be like, I can't reach. But you can.
Okay.
You are using, you're scared of your frog and you're scared of your tip. So you're going to here and you're going to here, which if I take your bow away, means you're really only using how much of the bow?
A lot.
Good answer, okay? So, in this Mozart, in order to keep the body up, well, anything, but especially Mozart, in order to keep the body up like this part of your arm, does this sound familiar? This part of your arm has got to come up to the violin instead of the violin coming down to it, okay? So, 2 things, we're gonna think in 2, and you're gonna keep your violin out here. You've already seen me play, you see that I move around. You know, it's not about not moving. It's about like finding your center of motion, like you were a puppet, all right? And there is the string going right through you that's holding you up. There's no puppet. You're not held by the back of your head, okay? Here. All right, so. Keep going if you don't mind. I want you to get to this next students always, did you feel a little anger flare up? Stop it. Okay. Could you feel that I was moving your bow to the violin instead of the violin coming down to the bow?
Yeah.
All right. That's good. How's the tempo feel?
Good.
All right, have a little bit better flow to it.
Mhm.
I didn't give you a chance to really fall into it because I was, shoving you around. The same posture thing, when you're sitting in orchestra and playing, okay? When you're down, and I know I've talked to you about this, when your violin's down a little bit like this, and you're sitting, you end up playing on this side of your knees. It turns your back, and it aggravates the middle of your back. When you sit down, Sampson, could I ask you, sir, if I could steal your chair for just a minute to show this, and then we'll let Julian have his chance. Okay, so when you're playing, if your bow is up, you're playing between your legs. Everything is centered. All right, nothing hard on the body. Your sound is gonna be better. If you're just a little turned, then you're gonna play like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? And everybody around you is doing that, isn't it? Right? Everybody around you is playing over on the side of their legs, right? They're all wrong. Yep. They're all wrong. And Sharon, you've probably seen that very often in orchestra as well. A lot of people, professional moms, the same way. In the Atlanta Symphony, you'll see them go to symphony and you can see players have all kinds of bad habits. And you think, well, if they do it, what's the problem? Well, they're going to orthopedists and surgeons and they're going to regular chiropractic, all this stuff, to deal. And I've been through that myself too, by the way, which is why I'm so particular about it with my students. So, all right, so think about like you're a dancer, all right? You're relaxed, but everything's up here. And then you play. You do whatever you want. You can bend at the waist, but don't bend in the mid-back.
Okay.
When you play at school, when you're sitting and playing, play between your legs. I actually never wear a dress anymore unless it's like a super wide skirt that can fall between my knees for that very reason. And then when you're playing this, think about being in 2 instead of 4. After you get used to it, it is so much easier to musically to play.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Let me go. Thank you for having me. And you do have my favorite voice, by the way. Just want to reiterate that from the very first time I met you, I was like, actually I was jealous. I made me feel like a bit of a spaz. I was like, I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna be more deliberate in my speech too.
Thank you.
It's your fault. You just laughed at me. Julian, can I move you in the stand just a fraction for the sake of being able to? You're great, but I don't want you to be so close to the stand that we can't see your beautiful performance. Can you still see the stand? Okay?
And I just moved so I can see.
Oh, yeah, no, you move. You sit wherever you want. So, you can put your violin down. Let yourself.
Okay. My name is Julian Kono. I'm 22 years old, and I go to Kennesaw State College. I'll be playing Rondo Introduction to Rondo Capriccioso by Sampson.
Oh, sorry. I'm tired. I know what it feels like to play. I'm tired. All right. Well done, Julian. Very, very nice job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Figured it was coming.
But by the way, for everybody, can you tell that my mother was my teacher? Okay. Can you come stand a little closer? All right. Start playing. And actually, sorry. As you start playing, I want you to look at the super nerdy picture of my daughter. Don't stop. Can you guys see how the violin is in front of him? Okay, good. Stop. Don't move. I'll turn back around, everybody. Sorry, it's using as a guinea pig. Okay, so what I was showing everybody as you're to the side is your violin is up.
Mm-hmm.
It's up. But it's up. Yes. And can anybody guess, you included, what the culprit is? If you...
for answers.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, that's good, because that means that if you don't know the answer, then maybe knowing this answer will help. Okay, so like I said, your violin is up and straight. When you start to play, did you guys see what? Yeah, you even know it, right? You're gonna hear. All right. There's one thing that is the culprit of that.
Right. Okay.
That.
Bone.
Yeah, it is that. Just like I was mentioning to Vera, and I'm pretty sure my other students that it's everybody has this. Is okay. Remember I was saying to Vera that yes, that you are like a puppet. Okay, so everything has to balance. You come straight down to the ground. Gosh, who was I talking to about this just like last lesson? I feel like somebody this week I was talking to about it, as if you're centered in the ground and everything. It might have been one of you guys, but it might have been one of others. But as soon as anything comes a 1 degree off balance, then your mid back, lower back, anything is having to hold you up. That means everything's gonna tighten more. So find your instrument, wherever your instrument sits, it's gotta be balanced. Can I steal your instrument from you for a second? All right, stand like you regularly stand. Very handsome, you got good posture. Oh, don't move any of that, just put your violin up. That's brilliant. Now, the second you start to play, you start out great. The second you have an up bow, which is the second note.
Okay. Yeah, it immediately drops.
Yeah. Remember how I was like torturing Vera by shoving her arm? I'm about to do the same thing to you, so come on over here. All right, so just start out. I'm doing this to his shoulder to make sure he raises his elbow, not his shoulder. Okay, good. You can practice that at home. You see the difference? It feels super weird, doesn't it? Now again, I'm gonna say, like I said to Vera, you've seen me play. I am not a statue, okay? But anything I do, I kind of do from the waist down here. My posture here, everything matches. Every now and then I might come in like this, but then I come right back out.
Okay.
I've learned it all, so I get to mess with it. You gotta learn it first, then you can mess with it. Okay, so in everything you do, and this piece has everything in it, in everything you do, first think about the way you stand straight. Sampson and I just did this. His first lesson, he came to me, his violin was in front of him, and we got him a new chin rest, which is closer over here. I don't think you need that. And boom. So your upper arm is the annoying little crybaby of the family that's ruining the whole family. Okay, ruining, that makes it sound like something. That's not what I mean, but you get my point, okay? So in everything you do, that should be the thing you think about. So when you're at on the G string, nope, yeah. I don't want you to hold in your core, be tight, but I also don't want you to crunch. The other thing I noticed is that, let's see, what is it? I think you either you tend to kind of let your knees go a little bit and kind of come back like this, okay? And believe it or not, all of that is your upper arm's fault. It's one thing. Yeah, so just nice, feel it in your feet like you're a stick figure. You go knee, and then you split in two down to the ground, okay? You're a scarecrow. Nice and relaxed, all right? But this stays straight, everything in the body stays straight. Yeah, look, you have such great posture. That all right, I'm gonna tell you one more thing, and then we're gonna let you go.
Sure.
Okay? I'm gonna ask Sampson what he thinks I'm gonna tell you.
Pretty princess.
Yes, you have a pretty princess who's sticking out, and I don't think I've told Yasmine this, but this is the pretty princess. Okay, the pretty princess. She's Rapunzel. She needs to stay in her tower. So your pretty princess was like.
Yes.
Singing songs from that tower, like "Come get me," all right. And the reason I call it the pretty princess is because when I was doing Suzuki training, book one a long time ago, they would talk about one of the things the teacher would say is that she's like a little princess, kind of peeking out, and so now I call it the pretty. Now, and the reason is it is even your thumb is all your upper arm's fault, because when you're over like this. All right, here's the right posture. When you're coming down a little bit, you see my elbow? When my elbow comes back, it's easy to do that. When my elbow comes back, what happens to my thumb?
It comes up.
Right, but then what happens to my pinky?
It draws down below.
Yes.
Okay.
So, if I come back up here, elbow comes up, then, yeah, we don't have any princesses. Okay, so you play super well. You're playing a super hard piece. I would practice. It's staring. Sorry. At your upper arm. Don't care if it sounds scratchy. I don't care if it's out of tune. It has nothing to do with the left hand of the sound. It has to do with one thing and one thing only. I had a tennis lesson yesterday and I was working on my serve and 100% did not get it in the box. But my coach was always like, "This is great. You're doing a great job." I was like, "It's not in the box." And she was like, "Yeah, but you got all the form. You're learning. You got it right. Then you can hone getting into the box."
The hard part is getting,
Yes. So, you've got the music, okay? But it's you're fighting the violin
And
with
myself,
your posture
yeah.
and yourself. Oh yeah. And I say this because I'm 100% been there. I mean, so it's all that fault. So when you play, you don't need to tense anything. Just feel like there's a string up there, like you're proud, like that's me. And then everything you do comes in that arm. And get all the way to the frog. Your upper arm's gonna have to move a lot more than you think.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
But you stop getting to the frog.
Okay. So
Alright.
get to the frog.
Yes, so you're gonna, it's really, your upper arm's gonna be like, I don't wanna do this, I've never had to do it before, why now? And you're gonna
Start with scales, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Always start with scales. Everything can be answered in scales. All right?
Thank you.
Well done, sir.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, very, very much. Thank you all. You all did a really great job.
Yes. I'm so glad you guys could play today.
I'm sorry that it had to be changed around and everything, but
Yeah.
you know,
I have
just
to
worked
say,
out
I like this though because it just has a.
a little different.
More
Yeah.
homey.
All right. Yes, it does. All right.
There are
Feel free to
cookies,
avail yourselves of the
cupcakes,
cookies.
and lemonade.
Now you can go for it, my friend. Go for it. You get first
Go.
dibs.
Do the first one.
We go by age.
You get second dibs, my love.
Yeah.
Good job.
Pack up your instruments, guys.
You did a great job.
We are lay down.
Thank you. Finishing the first round, I thought I got to say, I'm happy that he was able to play because
Yeah, it's
it has been